Good day, ladies and gents. I hope we are all good. Welcome to Wednesday, our free New York live trading session. So we had USD services PMI in news event like 10 minutes ago. We are going to have USD non-manufacturing PMI in about 5 minutes from now. So most likely we might get a setup to take trades there. So let's see. Nasdaq is bullish, pushing up. Let's just do a quick analysis. I'd love to execute my trade on US 30 if possible. So just looking at this price action, we've got that 13 EMA rejection. We could get sells on US 30. We could get price actually melting, but at the same time, okay, let me quickly check my phone. I just want to see how the TDI is looking from the past. Okay, double top there. Okay, it will only make sense if we close above the 13 EMA. So for now, for this to be a shark fin, a valid shark fin, I would love to see price actually close above the 13 EMA today, maybe above the 50 as well, for us to be strong bullish coming up into the zone. That's my view. So that means we'd have to let today's day go without actually executing a trade. But based on what we are looking at now, we currently have price rejecting the 13 EMA, so we can only buy this if price turns or if the current daily candle turns bullish. Market price or market structure on the 4 hour, we had a nice sell-off coming from the week before last. A drop. So this week, what are we going to get? Are we going to get a drop as well? We can consider price actually melting if we get them breaking these two red lines which you see me put here. Let me actually use like a zone, man. Okay, this. Okay, so if we get price come below this level here, then this would definitely be a sell. We'll most likely get sells, probably most likely going into NFB as well. But I would have loved to see this price come back up, tap into this gray zone before those sells happen. So for now, let's see, we're still hanging without a clean bias. H1 below the 13, but above the 50. So again, we are like in between. Most likely the best setup will form above yesterday's high or below this spike candle here. So this range in between, for me, feel like we won't get anything here. But let's see. You never know. With price, you never know. You never know until it happens. So let's see what this news event will do now in a few minutes or a few seconds from now, rather. Okay, US Tech, US 5, EU. So by scrolling through my watch list, I'm just looking for something with the highest probability for me to actually take. That's the news event. They is spiking that level like that. On my phone, I'm actually looking at US 30. So maybe let's just look at it. Spiked below the range. Okay, now is the time to get our trade in. So let's see what they do within that range we marked. This can potentially be a liquidity sweep and price can push up. Just marking out the things I can use here for this trade. Let's see what happened to these. It spiked down, now price pushing up, spiked down, price pushing up. Gold also spiked down, same as platinum, same as EU. USD's chilled. Okay. All right, let's wait for price to show us what it wants to do. So I'm just going to try and show a simplistic or a simple approach, or my simple approach to US 30. So for now, I'm waiting for the price to show me its hand. Like, where does it want to go? What is it respecting? What is it reaching for? Where can I have the best entry? All right, so for now, just patiently waiting for the market to show us its hand. Like I said, we've got price hitting a dynamic support, which is the 800 EMA. Would have preferred this if it was on M15, but let's see, M15 is the 200. All right, so let me just wait for this while it's on the M15 time frame so that I can pick the best directional bias on this one. So for most people, it's hard to sit on your hands like this without actually pressing a sell or pressing a buy. I feel like that's the hardest part in trading, the waiting part. I feel like that right there is the hardest part in trading. But if you want to have the best entries, you just have to patiently wait. Wait for the market to show you its hand. then execute your trades. All right, sometimes Nasdaq will give better trades. So again, it's always good to like go through these indices, check which one is showing a clearer pattern, then execute your trade accordingly. Hey, this looks like it's if you follow BTMM, doesn't this looks like a cord of wood? There's a setup called a cord of wood where price hits a certain level and they fail to break it. They hit a certain level, fail to break it either at the high of the day or at the low of the day. So this particular setup looks like it's the one. But let's see if there's any confluences though. Excuse me. So I would say price created the gap which they already filled. Shift. Okay, let's see. If they do give us something to work with, we might as well execute a sell as well. But I'll let you guys know just now. Just need some more confirmation here to see if price is actually pushing down. So no retracements on this one. Again, the gray parts, anything shaded gray is my point of interest. So no opportunity to sell there, no opportunity to sell there. Okay, let's see EU because EU also broke the zone there. Do we have anything to work with on the 5 minutes? Nothing for now, unless price comes back into this area. So on M15 or on M5, the imbalance is a bit huge, but let's just wait. So for now, you can see all the setups are still in formation. They're still forming. Let's see, maybe those trading the 1 minute time frame, maybe they caught something. Yeah, definitely. If you trade in the 1 minute, then definitely you were in the sell. 1 minute is not really my best time frame of choice. You can see where the sniper sell there based off this. Sell here, sell here. It needs somebody who's got like fast decision making skills if you are using the 1 minute. So for me, I just prefer the 5 minutes because at least it allows me time to think and decide what actually I want to do. So they did not give me an entry at the top, they did not give me an entry in between. So based on my trading system, no trade there. EU also melting away. Just going to continue stoking on US 30. So out of the three indices, Nasdaq is the one which is not moving. They're just like steady holding the price on the same area. So it could happen that we'll get a better trade on Nasdaq. That's very possible. Okay, again, EU, you notice that if we had used the buy limits, they would have taken us out. This is the reason why we just like, we only map out what we want to trade. Like if price does a certain thing and we have a trade idea, then we execute the trade idea based on what price is showing us. So if price does not give us a buy when we're anticipating a buy, we do not take a buy. So we're still stoking. Still stoking. There's so many zones now on my USDT. I've been actively trading it. Let me actually clear everything. We don't want to get too confused there. So many lines. Let's see how this one comes along. A break of these highs will see me going long. So remember on this, I'll most likely be targeting for price to come into this area, as you've seen on my MT5 platform. That's my main point of interest for USD. If we can get back up there, that would be perfect. So for the past 1-2 days, with today being day number 3, we've sort of been stuck in this range. Even though if you notice on H1, the move is actually there, but direction wise, price is literally like going both sides. So we do not have a clean bias for now, but if we do break here, we'll definitely be coming to the top. That's something which we can actually work with right there. We've got a broken structure here. On other brokers, this price actually got to this level, depending with the broker you're using. So the buys didn't happen here. I was definitely waiting for a potential continuation up, but that didn't happen. So I didn't execute any buys, didn't execute any trade. Yeah, we're just going to wait on M15. Let's see what these guys are going to give us. Same applies to Nasdaq. Wait for them on M15 here. Let's see what they want to do. US 500, nothing as well. For some reason, German 40 gave me a nice late trade yesterday. It's something which I rarely trade, but I was just looking at it. I was like, you know what? This is a clean pattern. My entry was a bit late. It was actually this sell here. My entry was a bit late, but they managed to get to my TP area, so that was still good. Right now, what are we reacting to here? We've got some reactions going on. This is M15. Okay, so let's just check the daily. Okay, daily again, you can see there's no clean bias here. Price can actually do two things. They can still even come down. You see this level which we have on the bottom there. You can still get there. At the same time, they can be reacting to this imbalance here and actually be looking forward to push up and maybe get to these highs even. These are all possibilities. We definitely have liquidity above that high. So these two areas, this low and that high, and this immediate high, those are two areas where liquidity. I feel like there is some liquidity there. If we are in a buying motion, prices hit 50 level, so could we be pushing up? That's also possible, but in terms of a bias, again, there's nothing too clean here. So the only thing we can do is wait. We wait for the dealer to show us something we can work with. Right, you can see here we had an imbalance. If we are to come back above, then price will most likely be coming towards this, so we'll be looking for buys. Here, if price comes up, it's more or less the same thing with the top one, but if we stay below, then we might see price actually pushing down. So actively stalking on GMN30, actively stalking. It's a pity these guys didn't give me an entry based on my system here. Otherwise, this would have been perfect. Like super perfect. But again, sometimes these guys just move funny, man. because it's either they had to hit the. I'm only noticing this now because my eyes were here. I wanted to see them tap into this imbalance. So this is more or less like back testing already. We're seeing, we're looking for the reason why we couldn't enter this trade. So jumping to the 3 minutes, we actually had a break and a retest. You see now where the difference sort of comes in, which means could we have jumped into a 1:3 trade here? 1:3 is right there. That could have been the way we could have approached this. So this second option is a bit hard because sometimes you won't know if price wants to tap into your imbalance or fair value gap or not. And the best way to only enter is after the candlestick closes. You see, we're not entering right on the retest. We were entering after a confirmation. Stop loss going just above that that current candle there, which you would have used for entry. So maybe something like this, yeah, maybe. But as long as the move offers you 100 points, I always say go for it. But again, my risk has to be 50 points or less. You see, this was 57. So yeah, I still would have been skeptical to take it, which is also why the reason you see I did not execute here. But then again, just noticing something here. So smaller time frames actually would have given a better insight. A better insight into this sell. Okay, 1:3 would have been complete, but this is like in hindsight. I'm already not hindsight. Okay, how do I put it? No, English is escaping me. But anyways, this is like I'm only explaining this because price is already played out. But this move definitely I've missed it because I was waiting for price to actually do this. This is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for them. Let me go back to M5. Waiting for them to tap into this imbalance. Then give me a stop loss range, let's say there. Then still target my 1-3. So definitely, if they had given me that, I would have executed it. So as much as I was looking forward to buys, remember I always mention we only trade what the price is showing. So since they showed sells, that would have been my setup, and most likely I would have just gone for like 100 points. So the setup would have been perfect. But now this is like for back testing purposes, how best to trade it next time if we see a setup. So let me also show you, because people might say, no, you're only saying this. Okay, so yesterday we had some fucked up price action which almost got the better of me. But again, this was the main level where price was going to push up. I think I showed you. Okay, I'm not sure if I showed you guys. Let me confirm if my whole screen is sharing. Okay, yes. Jump here. Jump here. You see this rejection of the 50 EMA. You can see that's where the setup is coming from with the trade happening at the break of this imbalance. So if we come here, just want to show you the same thing. So that is on M15. So M15, I use it, I mark up my points where I'm looking forward to enter. Then when I'm on M5, I'm just looking for that imbalance. So I just moved the zone there. Let me remove this because it's going to get us confused. Okay, yesterday was what, Tuesday? Okay, there we go, there we go. Sorry for that. All right, so remember I'm looking for a buy. I'm looking for a buy, and price has hit my zone. Okay, I think I'm confusing myself here, guys. Just be with me. I want to just cross-check that M15 OB. Okay, it's actually this one right here. Okay, this would just have been the confirmation for me to start looking for buys, which is that 50 EMA bounce, which is somewhere here. So I would have looked to enter somewhere there. That's after all this confirmation, right? So after that confirmation, okay, there we go. After this confirmation, I'm only looking for one thing. I'm looking for the imbalance. So I'm looking for price to shift, show me that move. So it happened on what, on M15, right? That means M5 left me this imbalance to work with. So I put this imbalance there. Now I'm waiting for a reaction in the imbalance. So price retraces, taps into it deeply. Excuse me. This setup, most likely, I usually like to enter on the next close of the next bullish candle, or if it's a candlestick, I know. So here, stop loss would have gone below the last spike, most likely. I usually go again for one, either we are targeting 1:3, or we are targeting 100 points from entry. So 100 points or somewhere here, the risk was about 47. So you can see it fell within my trading system parameters. The risk is 50 pips or less, and the reward is 100 points, or at least 1:3. So 100 points was somewhere there, right on the top of this, slightly above. So as soon as my setup reaches 100 points, that's where I scale out if it's indices. So this is just to show you that that's how my trading system works. It's mainly waiting for direction from the M15 or from whatever higher time frame. Once I get a directional bias within my trading time. So this trade happened at about 7 p.m. yesterday. You can see you have to sit on the charts from 3:30, most likely from 2 p.m. when New York opens. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably to 8. So 6 hours of sitting in front of the screen is not a joke in terms of waiting for a high probability setup. That's where the money is made. So this is to show you guys how how I actually plan my trades based on my system. So on this one, price did not tap into my imbalance right there. Otherwise, if it had tapped, that was the setup. That's basically the explanation I'm trying to give. This is just like a continuation. So I hope this helps somebody. We missed the sell, we back tested, we looked at how best we could have maybe entered it if we had looked at other time frames, but based on our system, we showed up and nothing we could use showed up. So for now, like I said again, it's sitting from the on the PC from like 2 p.m. to about 7, 4 to 5 hours. So sometimes the setup will happen a bit later because you can still you can see prices still in motion. So sometimes the setup will happen a bit later. But for now, all we can do is wait. If you want to see this trade, like the screenshot of the actual trade, you can just send me a message in Telegram. I usually share my results on the Telegram group. That's where I share the results. So here we've got nothing to work with. Nasdaq is actually bullish. Like I say, this one I definitely wanted to take buys, but then today my focus was on US30, and I couldn't take the trade on that particular one. So on this buy, if we were looking at the, okay, again, we are back testing. So what are the things we are working with? We are working with the London highs, London lows a bit far off here. So from here, we know we've got a bullish bias. Was M15 going to give us something? So remember, what you need is a shift of price, and you need to get a fair value gap or something you can use, something which is familiar. So on this particular setup, right at the break of this London high, price actually shifted to the top side. They gave this imbalance here. We've got this imbalance here, and we've got this imbalance here. All right, so how do you know which imbalance to use? Specifically for me, I try to wait for 15:30, which is the stock market open. So 15:30 candle was this one. Okay, let's touch on that. The 15:30 candle was this one. That 15:30 candle, let's just confirm if it's the one. Yeah, that's the one. That's what's the 15:30 candle. This is when the stock market opens. So when it opened, we had already had the shift. So we're looking forward for price to retrace into either the fair value gap, or the broken zone. In this case, we also had from this low, notice we also had an order block here. So again, that's where it might get confusing. Like I said, somebody might ask, what fair value gap should I use? Sometimes it can get a bit confusing like that, especially on this price action. But again, it's always good if you put your stop loss outside the range. So this was the New York lows right there. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. This was the New York lows. The initial low was here. This was the London high. So this was the lowest low order block. So remember, our system is picking the lowest low, locating the order block. This whole candle here is the order block, in case you don't see it. So we've got an order block and a fair value gap. And again, we've got a zone and a fair value gap. Price can react on any of these zones. So the best option for you here, if the risk allows, stop loss outside the range, entry at the first fair value gap, which is right there. Then you want to map out 1:3 or 100 points. Okay, it's almost equal with 100 points. So what was the risk here? Was the risk 50 points or less? So from the entry, the risk would have been about 36, 37, under 40 points, and the reward was going to be 103 pips. This is a 1:3 trade. So this trade would have played out perfectly again based on our trading structure. But again, I didn't trade Nasdaq today. My only execution based on how I was approaching Wednesday was to execute only on US30. So unfortunately, US30 did not give me something I could use. But who knows, we might still get something. So we get a nice reaction here, which could be a retracement to this whole pattern happening. Let's see here. I've got this point of interest where price is tapped. You can see it's coming from yesterday's order block. So don't get too confused. Again, we had a level here, which is a lower low. Then we've got this candle, which is the order block. So I just marked the high. Price is tapped into that order block. Can we push up? It's possible, but our trend is not yet bullish. Can we look for a buy? Yes, but again, we're not sure if this price is going to really push up. So what do we need? We need price to really shift going up. So here the shift won't be visible because there was just one impulsive move. It's not like price was pushing this in such a way, pushing like this in such a way that when a shift happens, you see it. Then you wait for a retracement, then you execute. So this scenario is a bit hard to trade on, I won't lie. It's a bit hard to trade on, unless of course you are very patient, then you can just wait to get a better confluences from higher time frames. We can decide to use, let's see, this fair value gap. Since price has hit a point of interest, if we do come above, get it close, and price shows us signs of respecting this inverted fair value gap and staying above, then we can consider executing a buy. We might also want to see something like this, maybe an impulsive move, then price actually retracing back into something, which includes this fair value gap from M15. Then we can take a buy. You get it? So I hope this helps. This is basically how I approach the market. So in this example, I still haven't executed because my system parameters or my rules or my checklist didn't actually balance. That's why I didn't execute this. But we already backtested on Nasdaq, which also had a buy, which was just too clean, and this played out clean. This is a clean move, clean, 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 clean. US 500s, more or less the same thing. This is bouncing off. What you call it? It's bouncing off. Yesterday's high. So before we even check, you can just see this was the high from yesterday. That green line you see there, that's the high. So price came, bounced off that area. This is a shift. When we're talking about a shift, 5-minute shift, we have an order block here. Slightly below the order block, we've got an imbalance. So This is not wrong for planning a setup like this. Then you just map out 1, 2, 3. I'm not good on sniper buys. Others are good. I'm not good on that. So others might tell you the entry was there. So there's also nothing wrong with that, because remember, we all have different approaches to the market. So if you caught a buy here, most likely your TP was this high. Your trade is complete. You get it. So just depending with your trading system, just trade the markets how your system says you should trade. So stick to your rules and you'll never go wrong. So for US 500, most likely, if they do retrace, because M15, you can see a nice reaction here. Price pushed up, they came rejected. Now we are pushing up strongly. Can US 30 do the same? They can actually follow suit. That's why we actually marked this imbalance, because the leader of the pack right now is Nasdaq. Nasdaq literally hit a zone, and this literally played out. Gave traders time to actually get into the trade after New York opened. Then US 500, it opened in New York, but then maybe unless you're looking at this order block, you could still have executed it by. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, again, I would say I would rather wait for them maybe here, see what happens. But if this was the entry, then I would have missed. And plainly because I wasn't even looking at this one. Then US 30, that was my asset for the day. Still is. If we do come back above, I'm still looking for longs. I need to see price shift and come above that M15 fair value gap there. If we can come above, maybe give a slight retracement, I can consider buys. So yeah, I'd say that's my view, guys. That's my view. Again, if this is respected, price can also sell. If it's a respected, price can sell. But I came today with a buying bias. If a buy happens, just because all the other indices are pushing up, I'll be ready. But if they decide to sell, I want to see them reject this imbalance. After I get a rejection, if it's a selling candle, if it's a recognizable candle, then I'm just going to put my sell stop loss about the last high. Then maybe I might take profit right on this zone on the bottom, or just in 1:3, depending with how price will be showing. But at the same time, I'm very open to actually executing a buy if price shows me that it actually wants to push up. So the buy could actually be a good risk to reward ratio, as you can see, depending with the entry, of course. But for now, the only thing we can do again is wait. So let me try. I'm sorry, guys, this video is going to be very long. Okay, I don't know how long I've been recording for, but I want to try execute the trade whilst we're on live, so that you guys can just see that, okay, this is my trading plan. This is how this guy approaches his charts, and this is how he approaches his trades. Let's just check EU there. Isn't it funny how EU came to our point of interest and it's now pushing up? And then again, I wasn't really looking forward to execute on EU, but I had marked it. I usually mark so that I can see patterns. So while I'm waiting for something to happen, I can see, okay, this is what's happening. Okay, price hit my zone. I was most likely going to look for such and such a trade, but this happened, so I did this, those kind of things. So for now, price hit a zone. We've got a shift. The buying bias is already there on EU. So on this shift from this low, I do not have any imbalance as price is pushing up. Everything is balanced here. So I don't have an entry. Unless I look at other confluences, maybe, like we said, maybe if you're on M3, you can actually get a pattern. So from M3, this was our shift. This push up here, that's the shift in market price. Okay, that's a broken zone which I can actually consider using. If price does a retrace, I can consider using that. But yeah, this was our shifts. Price pushed up, left an imbalance here, left an imbalance here. How do you know which one to use? If you don't know, if it's not clear, just wait for the next candle to close. So when it closes there, you can enter with your stop loss below here. Then your 1:3 trade will be mapped out like this. Then from here, if we can get a pullback to here, that's when I'll actually execute again. But otherwise, this is how you would have executed. And you're looking to take profit at the next liquidity area or the next high you see. And this falls along the 1 to 3 area. And again, for this particular setup, this was a fair value gap from some time frame. So for us to get here, prices to actually come above and stay above, that will show us that we are correct in the buy. Otherwise, price might still reject this and they can still again come below this and push down. So knowing all this sort of helps you to like manage your trade. If you're in a buy, you see your price coming strongly down, you can sometimes catch your loss before your actual risk is actually hit. So that's why it's always good to know, okay, if I break here, then price is most likely to get here. If price does this, then I do this. You get it, that type of thing. So, right, let's see, we've broken a zone. Okay. Again, I'm going to wait for M5. I don't know if M5 is going to make us miss trades today, but I think I'll prefer waiting on M5. But we are very, very, very ready to execute a buy. Okay, what do we have here? Okay. We are very, very ready to execute a buy. I'm going to show you guys on my phone because that's where I execute the trades. Okay, I'm just checking H1 also. Nice rejection on the 50 EMA. Oh, excuse me. All right. This is a nice order block there. Let me just use M3. I don't want to end up losing this trade. Okay, so not losing, man. I don't want to end up missing the trade. Okay, so I'm going to attack this trade with a buy stop right above this candle. The stop loss will be determined by the candle which breaks that high. So as soon as we break here, I'm going to be active with a buy. Buy target is going to be, okay, 100 points is just going to be right here, which is right there. So let's just make it 1 to 3. But anyways, the stop loss will be determined by the candlestick which breaks that level. So for now, we are still waiting. So I'm just doing this now because I want to execute this trade before I end the session. I've got my phone in hand. If price comes above that area, remember we do have a fair value gap here. We've already came and closed above on 3 minutes. So if we come and break that last high from the last 3 minutes, I'm going to execute a buy. That's the only reason which is going to make me execute a buy. Otherwise, if price does something else, it means I simply won't execute. So yeah, let's see, patiently waiting, checking H4, checking H1. H1 looks like it's going to be, okay, H1, the reason I'm saying H1, I'm looking at my phone. But let me show you guys. You see this nice rejection here. It looks like liquidity has been taken and price is bounced off that order block from yesterday. So we could still get that buy. But remember, it won't be high probability until we come above the 13 EMA. Those are other things you also need to just know. So that's why I also encourage people to join the mentorship as well. Because mentorship, you see all these things I'm explaining. I'm also trying to talk fast so that I can relay all the information I'm using on this live session. Sometimes it's good to join the mentorship because we can do these sessions anytime. I can explain everything in greater detail. You won't get confused. So let's see. If we don't come above, then you don't buy. So it's simple. It's just following a simple set of rules. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to keep my eye on this one, on MT5, M15. I'll just keep my eye here. But I know what I'm anticipating. As soon as I break here, I'll let you guys know. I'll just switch between these two and I'll let you guys know. Okay, what's happening with B5? B5 hitting yesterday's low. Still waiting for that move. B1000 has hit a stop loss. Those who trade synthetic indices with me, We had only one position waiting for a safe buy. The safe buy didn't happen. The one position we had, it hit a stop loss. B500, we do have one position. Again, we're waiting for price to come above this area so that we can add. And if we come above the safe buy area, we're going to add again and wait for that push up. All right. You just have to show up, guys. You just have to show up. So this is basically part of showing up. Within this move, again, nice imbalance there between these two candles, price tapped. Nice imbalance here again, price tapped. Also broke a zone closed above. So we need a break above 38,650 for us to buy. They can actually maybe go higher, but I'll be happy with 100 points here. So I'll take this trade on my prop firm account. This is FTMO. I'm going to risk the usual risk, which is 0.5% up to 1%, depending with how I'm feeling about the setup. So I'm actually ready to execute a buy on this trade. My risk most likely won't be much. My risk, it will depend. Let's see how the candle which breaks. It has to be 50 points and below, which means I'm looking forward for a risk at least which can be somewhere there. That's my maximum risk. So the candle which breaks this has to be within the range of the stop loss for me to actually execute. So I've got a 50 points range to play with. If price goes against me, that means I'm totally wrong on this setup. If it goes in my direction, that means I'm right. Jump to M5. Right, let's see what happens. Remember, what we need is a break and a close. Okay, perfect. Let's see, let's see. We're still waiting, we're still waiting, we're still waiting. The TP and stop loss parameters will be defined just now. Okay, price is coming, it's coming. Like I said, the waiting part, guys, is the waiting part is the hardest. If you're in a rush to make money, you always lose. Because if you cannot wait, it means you'll be buying at the wrong times. You either be buying early or buying late. There'll always be something wrong. And again, if you are not patient for the setup to actually play out, you will cut your trade before it even plays out, and you end up losing your capital. So yeah, let's see what happens. Let's take a sneak peek on what's happening with NAS, what's happening with US5, what's happening with German 40. Well, this one usually moves its own, it's different from these other ones, but anyways, Okay, looks like price is just stuck. They don't want to move, but yeah, we've got all the time, man. We've got all the time. Price approaching. Entry points. Stop loss will just go below this, below that, what you call it, the fair value gap. And like I said, we are going to execute this trade on the FTMO prop account. I'll try to show you guys the metrics as well. Then maybe you can let me know, maybe if you want me to do a recording of the whole journey. If you want me to do a recording maybe of the whole journey there. You guys will just let me know if you want me to do the recording, because I think, yeah, it should be phase one. If you guys want me to show you the whole journey of me doing that prop firm, it's fairly new, it's a new challenge. So if you guys want me to show you the trades I take, I'll just be doing them maybe live like this. If you guys want me to do that, just let me know in the comments, then I can share my journey. You guys can share your journey as well. If you're also trading props, we can even you guys can join my Telegram group and we can just be one community as well. But like I said, takes a lot of patience, man. Takes a lot of patience. So for now, it's only a game of waiting. So when I go quiet, I'll just be multitasking here a bit, but I'll just try to record this as much as I can. I wish there was volume. If there was volume in the market, then this trade would just move fast and we could be complete with the setup so that I show you guys how it went. But anyways, let's be patient. Okay, I just want to check based on M15. Okay, based on this. I want to put the SL right. Keep moving things around here. I want to move it right to the 50 point mark. Okay, slightly above. Okay, this thing is getting in the way. Okay, there we go. Are they going to push up, break, push up? So again, what you want to see is like a solid close above. So for now, you can see they're just like kissing on the zone. They don't want to give us that break to actually show us that they are pushing up. So let's just be patient with it. Again, okay, this is M5. Going back to M3. Okay, most likely I would love to put it just below this level, but anyways, let's see. See this low here. Usually I love my stop loss below the zone, but anyways, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. If we had participated in Nasdaq, would have been done for the day. Check what happened with EU. Again, I think we also had marked it for a possible buy, but I would also mention they could get into the what you call it, the fair value gap and actually push down. So this push price down. Nothing wrong with taking a sell there and taking profits here as well. As long as you understand what price is doing, you can still actively take these setups. No doubts. Okay, just checking what's happening. This is a nice setup here. Hits a zone, broken order block. Can we get a pullback here? If we can get a pullback here, this is a clean sell. Pull back into the point of interest, meltdown money. This is the entry right there. All right, so I'll just leave this here, guys. I'll go quite a bit as I want to multitask, but I won't be too far. All right, we're active on the trade there. We're active with that push up. We are active on this trade with one position. Active there. Okay, let me just see if I can do this so that so that my screen doesn't go black. All right, so sorry about that. So we active on US30. If the price moves our way, okay, this is 100. So there's certain points I love to mark. I love to mark the 100-point mark, and I love to mark the 50-point mark. 50 points, that's halfway to the target. So at 50 points, stop loss goes to break even. So that we run a risk-free trade. If you have multiple positions, sometimes we scale out there. Then at 100 points, you scale out. Then we leave the rest of the positions to hit TP. That's basically how we attack this trade. So if we do push down, we're going to lose 50 points, which will be 0.5% in this example. If you guys want to check out the metrics, let me know in the comment section. If you want me to record the whole journey, also just let me know in the comments as well. All right, I'm back. I'll be back just now. All right, we are still stalking price. The only thing I would say I'm not happy with on this setup is, that's why you also didn't hear me say let's go with multiple position, or I'm going with multiple positions. It's because on the H1 we are still trading below the 13 EMA. Even though we've hit the 50 EMA, the support, dynamic support, we're still trading below the 13 EMA, which shows us that the trend intraday is really not yet bullish until we come back above the 13 EMA. So that's also one other thing you should note there. That's the only thing I don't like about this setup. Otherwise, everything else looks all right. In terms of risk to reward, everything is perfect. So let's see if we hit the 50-point mark. We are going to put our stop loss right on entry. We're going to put our stop loss right on entry. So let's see how that goes. We've got a nice aggressive push approaching that 50 points. So we might as well put our stop loss right on entry to make this a risk-free trade at the moment. Because remember, we're not yet strong bullish and we don't want to end up losing this trade as well. So we are currently on break even. This trade is now officially a risk-free trade. That's just part of trade management. So this helps you protect your capital, number one. If it takes you out, that's fine. It wasn't a high probability trade. We still show up tomorrow or whatever time when there's a better setup and we execute. So now risk-free trade, this is part of trade management. This is also part of the things we teach on our mentorship. That's trade management, how to manage your trade once it's running. So yeah, I'll be back again just now. All right, so we've officially hit our halfway mark. We've hit our halfway mark. We're running risk-free. We are approaching. Hopefully, we'll get to TP. But because of time, okay, let me see if we can get, not TP as such. Hopefully, we'll get to the 100-point mark. Because of time, I don't want to continue making this video long, because on a normal day, I'll just let this trade run, because at the end of the day, you don't want to involve your emotions in a running trade. Once we hit risk-free like this, we like to close the charts. We've set our TP. You set your first TP at the scale out, your last TP there. Then depending with the speed of how the price is moving, you can just close your trade either manually or you can check it. So once we hit risk free, we usually want to let the trade run without involving our emotions so that we can get the maximum reward out of the trade. But ladies and gentlemen, this is it from me today. If you guys want to see the metrics of my FTMO account, it's on phase one. Please let me know in the comment section. Then I'll share it maybe on the next lesson or on the next live trading session. I'll definitely do that. If you want me to show you the the whole journey, let me know as well so that I can just record all sessions, even though we're not having live sessions throughout most of them. I'll just record everything so that you guys can see how I approach my trading. So that's it for me today, guys. Our trade is running well. Initially our setup was looking something. I'm trying to. Okay, you guys know if you're watching this from the start, you know how our risk was. We're now risk free. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. Let me see if I can try hold until the first scale out point, maybe if price can reach there. But at the same time, if it retraces to the entry, we are still running risk free. So there is nothing to cry about there. It will just be lessons and it will be part of the game. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. I'll just let it run a bit before I close off this live trading session. All right, guys, I think I'll round up this session. So I'm actually happy with the 50 points which we got from this setup. I'm actually happy with that. And it's a pity we couldn't, or I didn't execute on NAS, because this was going to be a very, very sweet trade. But I hope you guys took some notes on how I would have approached this whilst we were doing the little back test. And you notice also how I took this trade and managed it until it became a risk-free. So I think that's all for today. Price will most likely maybe get to the TP. We'll see. I think this will give you guys also time to come and back test a bit. So if you're watching this, depending on the day you're watching it, today it's June 5th. It's the 5th of June, so it's June 5th, 2024. New York session, and this is US 30. In case you're watching this on a later date and you're back testing, just scroll on to this date, come to the 3-minute time frame or M15 time frame. Just check how this price eventually played out based on the setup we had, and hopefully you can improve your trade or learn a thing or two from my session. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. If you watched this session from the first minute until now, whereby I'm closing, thank you so much for your patience, and I wish you all the best in your trading journey. Those who want to join the community, don't hesitate to join our Telegram group. It's free signals, free setups, free everything, free books, free guidance, free mentorship notes. And those who want the paid mentorship, don't hesitate to get in touch as well. Then we can take all these live sessions, we trade them together if you're on the live or if you're on the mentorship. We take all these live trading, all these live trading sessions, we do them together. That way your learning curve is a bit faster, because like you notice, the way I approach the trade is just the same way I'll be showing you, and any questions can be addressed while this price is playing out live. So I hope today's session was good for you guys. Our trade moved almost, it's actually almost on 100 points. It's on about 83, 80 pips, but we are running risk free and we are happy to scale out at 50 points, since this is a low probability trade based on that H1. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. I'm going to actually post this video under the Candlestick Trading Bible, so that those guys who are going through this book can also get some motivation. So it's a pity here we didn't really have like an example like of a fib. But anyways, I hope you guys learned a thing or two. So whatever you learned, please write it on the comment section. Whatever you learned from this session, don't forget to write it on the comment section. And thank you so much, guys, for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day. Wishing you a very productive week. Let's meet again tomorrow. So every week, every Wednesday, I do a free live trading session. Then Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, it's only for those who are on the mentorship, and it's only for those who pay for the live trading sessions. So it's not much for the live trading sessions. I only charge, I'm not sure what's the fee. I think it's $20. It's just a monthly fee which you need to pay to access our live trading sessions. We just do like this. We set New York session, we trade, we share ideas, share jokes, share knowledge. Then if you want to join our mentorship, I think it's going at, I'll confirm the price, but you guys can just DM me if you need the price. Then I'll let you know. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good trading.